Jason. So thanks for joining us. Can we just start there? You can tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, started off at Leeds United as an apprentice. 17-year-old, turned pro. 18, made my debut in the Premier League against Middlesbrough. So from there on, at the same time, I was playing for England under 18s and 19s. So some great experiences. Played against France, played against Scotland, scored in the European Cup. And from there on, went to Blackpool, had a short stint at Blackpool, had 2.5, 3 years in Italy, which is a fantastic experience. Came back from there and just sort of played for a few local clubs, Scarborough, Doncaster Rovers, which was great. I won my promotion, with my local team. But from there on was at Halifax, Alverton, and finished playing quite early really, and went straight into coaching. So went straight back to Leeds United as under-9s coach and sort of learned my development, going through all the ages, taking me awards, my coaching badges, and ended up as Leeds United 23s manager.
You've mentioned some great experiences there. You've played as both a coach and a player at professional level, as you mentioned. What was the best experience for you in football?
Best experience, I think my debut was definitely a different experience, an exciting experience. I obviously went in as a scholar, went on the bus, caught 2 buses in, expecting to do all the jobs. But then Howard Wilkinson told me I was on the bench, so it was some experience. On that day, John Lukic got sent off, Lucas Radibi went in goal, so I ended up coming on against Middlesbrough, and it was a fantastic atmosphere. Any game playing at Ellen Road with the fans, and that sticks in my mind, most definitely.
And then moving on to your coaching style, what would you say that is for yourself?
Well, I'd say it's quite mixed, it's quite varied. I'm open to new ideas and learning different opinions and different ways of playing and different styles of the game. I think on that, I've learned and picked the best moments from coaches I've had. So I've worked with great coaches. 2 of the best coaches I've ever had was as a under 18 was Eddie Gray and Paul Hart. So that sticks in my mind a lot, the way they were, where they expect you to receive the ball in all areas, be comfortable with it. They'll be disappointed if you don't try and get on the ball. But also on the opposite side, they expect you to be aggressive out of possession, be fit and strong and athletic. So them 2 definitely stick in my mind. But then I've learned other styles of play, whilst playing in Italy, spending more time on the ball. I had a stint as 23 manager. I was under 23s working under Gary Monk, and his ideas I took in a lot because I spent a lot of time, alongside him, watching his training sessions on, the way he wanted to press, the way you can get counter-attacked on by certain passes. So lots of different varying styles, but my overall one would say I like to be aggressive in possession, playing on the back foot, playing forward as fast and quick as we can, and if we can't get it one way, we go out the other way until just trying to create overloads in all areas.
Yeah, and you've mentioned there the things you picked up from other coaches. How do you incorporate the player feedback into your strategies?
Well, I think part of being a coach or a manager isn't always about what you do tactically, so I spend a lot of my time ringing the players individually, and that can be throughout the week, after a game. Obviously we VO the games, so we expect them to give some messages on tactically how they think they've done, under no pressure. It's not to catch them out. They can send it me individually or Mark Masparo individually. It's not to catch them out in any way, but it's just to give us that extra cutting edge, so they are reflecting on the game and going into a bit more detail rather than just looking at the goals. That looks great, but thinking, because we have objectives for the game, and really seeing if we've achieved them, and if we do lose a game, why did we lose the game, and the VO and all that can tell us that.
Yeah, I mean, you've joined us this evening just prior to your training session. Do the players have a bit of feedback into the sessions that you do as well?
Well, I'll tell them before what we're going to do. I've messaged 1 or 2 because we've got a few injuries and we've had a few midweek games, so we've played Saturday, Tuesday, so we have to be mindful of the level we're at and the work commitments they have. So it's okay, we don't want to push them too much, so there'll be certain players that will get pushed, there'll be certain players that won't, and we'll nurture them. We've got the physios in before looking after them, But yeah, the session it'll be quite short and sharp. Everything will be intense, but over short periods. Everything will be timed. Everything's done on the clock, even a passing drill. So yeah, it'll be short and sharp. Be a possession leading into a small-sided game, with recovery runs in, and yeah, that'll be sort of it.
So we've continued to see improvement in the team's results and the confidence over the last few weeks. You've mentioned some of the changes and what you do with the players. Has there been unnecessary changes of the style that you've had to adapt to?
Reflecting, I watched a couple of the games as soon as I arrived. So I watched I think it was the Louth game. I watched the South Leeds game, and you could tell within the squad was good. The players in there all have qualities, so I just think it needed, one or two adjustments, a bit more structure and a bit more organisation. It looked like that one or two were playing out of position or shape. The squad looked a little bit unbalanced in certain areas so straight away I thought we needed a bit more pace and athleticism, from players, and a bit more physicality. So we managed to quickly get the likes of Tadiq in, Bolts in, more Conte from Silsden. So I think that added to what we already had, which was a really, really strong group. So and the boys have bought into absolutely everything that we've said to them. They seem to be enjoying it. They seem hungry, to learn and develop. But also, ultimately, now I think it was always going to be difficult, winning 2 games. But there's a reason you go on a run for 4 or 5 games, is because you're preparing and you're doing things properly. So, look, we might hit a block, we might lose a game, but I think if you're preparing a certain way and you think you shouldn't lose 2, 3, 4 on the bounce, if we do, then I think I need to look at myself, and questions need to be asked of me if we are losing 3 or 4.
So it's moving on slightly a bit for the future there. Can we expect a couple of more changes there? Any incomings? A bit more stability? I think we've touched on there. We've got players that the bit of time frame for Mason that's coming back. Ollie Rodriguez.
Yeah. Well, I've spoken to the players about. I always wanted to give everybody an opportunity, and I knew, and I researched, the players we already had. So at the moment, no, we don't intend bringing anybody else in, but at this level, they get injured. People have been putting 7 days in. We've had 3 or 4 players put 7 days in. So you've always got to be mindful that what happens, they might get, enticed to go away for extra money or an extra £10 or at this level. So we've got to prove to them and show them that it's the right club. And I think we've done that, because the players who did get 7 days in decided to stay. So which is credit to them. So no, I think at the minute we stick with what we've got. It is a strong squad. The boys are we play Saturday, Tuesdays quite often, so they're going to be in and out of the team. But for us to play that sort of intense, hard-working football, along with their work commitments as well, the squad's going to have to be rotated to get the best out of the group. But no, I think the boys have really, really bought into what we want.
And finally there, it's you've probably seen it before with our fans. They're amazing there. It's the players, they're interacting with our fans both before and after the game on Saturday against Armthorpe. Do you see them as an important role for us this season?
Yeah, I've been looking at the club for probably a couple of years, because I know Mason Ruby really well, so I always keep an eye on the players I've coached as kids. So I had Mason Ruby from under 9s up until 16s at Leeds. So you're always looking to see how they develop. So obviously he signed here, and you can see how the club's grown. I mean, it's a city, it's a big club, but ultimately they want to see success, and we've got to bring that success to them. But it has to be done the right way. In the past, I think we've expected to go up there without a fight, and now I think we need to try and reward them. And I think they'd be just as happy if we had stability within the group. We didn't have players just here for a short term. We want the likes of Billy, Mason, who've been here a long time, and the players that we sign, we want them to be here for the longevity. So I think that'll bring more excitement to the fans. I think they could definitely see against Armthorpe the way we want to play within our aggression, that it's more important to win tackles and fight, and I think that really got them going on Saturday. It's been evident that we've gone from 212 up to over 400. Now we need to keep that going. We need to get the fans on board. Yes, they've been excellent. I've been to 3 or 4 away games now. They're there. They follow us through thick and thin. And if we can continue and doing the right things, we expect the crowds to go up. We want to, and they're the 12th man. They'll get us over the line. But within that, the players that we have, they have to be able to deal with that pressure, because you're not just, any club. You're a club where it's big support, and it's a different type of pressure where you have to win a game. So, but no, they're going to be the ones that, if we do progress, if we do get to where we want to be, they're going to be the ones that, get us there. And within that, we have to excite them, play a certain way, and everything we do should be for them and the club ultimately.
Yep. Well, thanks for joining us, and go and enjoy your training.
Yep. Thank you. Is that all right?
That's good. That's spot on. Right, I jumped backwards and forwards a little bit.
Yeah.